In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I prepared and passed the Google Cloud Digital Leader Certification. And I didn't have to pay for any training resources because they were all free. If you follow exact path that I use in this video, you're going to be able to do the exact same thing. Now, the Google Cloud Digital Leader Certification falls under Google's foundational certifications. Foundational certifications are going to validate broad knowledge of cloud concepts, products, services, tools, and features within that certification. Cloud Digital Leader is going to allow you and prove that you can articulate the capabilities of Google Cloud Core products and services that benefit an organization. The exam is going to assess you on 6 different areas: digital transformation with Google Cloud, exploring data transformation with Google Cloud, innovating with Google Cloud Artificial Intelligence, modernizing infrastructure and applications with Google Cloud, trust and security with Google Cloud, and scaling with Google Cloud Operations. Now, let's learn a little bit more about this certification. The exam is going to be 90 minutes. In my experience, when I took this exam, 90 minutes was way more time than I needed. Your results may vary based on your experience, but I finished up with a whole lot of time to spare. The registration fee for the exam is 99 USD. So that's the only thing you're going to have to pay. You actually have to pay to sit for the exam, but all the preparation materials that I'm going to go over are going to be absolutely free and are going to more than prepare you to be successful on this thing. The exam format is between 50 to 60 questions. When you sit for your exam, whatever the system decides to give you, it's going to, give you between 50 to 60 questions. And you're going to have 2 different flavors of how you can sit for the exam. You can do online proctored, which is basically going to be in the comfort of your own home. And the word comfort, I would say, might be a stretch. Yes, you will be in your home, but you're going to be remotely monitored through your webcam, and you're going to have very specific requirements in terms of where you're sitting and making sure you don't have any sticky pads with answers to the exam on it. So don't do that because that wouldn't be good. Or you can do the on-site proctored, which is where you go to a testing facility and sit for the exam. I went and did that, and I felt great in the testing facility because that's usually how I sit for my exams. The valid period for the exam after you've passed it is going to be 3 years, so that's nice. And so that's a little general synopsis of that exam. Now, let me jump back up here to the top. You're going to see some quick links right here that says train for the exam. That's going to pop you into literally the free training. Now, I had a Gmail account, so I just simply use my, Google authentication, and that will get you into this free training. This training is absolutely free, which is Google Digital Leader. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview here. You click this drop down here, and if you notice, you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different trainings. Now, Google could not possibly make this any easier than they already have. I mentioned how the exam was going to assess you on those 6 different areas. They literally have training broken down by modules based on how the exam is going to assess you. So you can see those here. Digital transformation with Google Cloud. There it says, as much excitement about cloud technology and digital transformation, but often many unanswered questions. This is going to be a course that takes you into that domain area. So I'm going to click onto this digital transformation with Google Cloud. This is going to pop up. And this literally is going to be about an hour and a half worth of training. Once you get into here, there's going to be a ton of different videos, starting out with an executive introduction, course introduction, another introduction. I got like 3 introductions. I didn't even notice that when I was doing this thing. It's kind of funny. And then we get into the meat of it: innovations, paradigm shifts, digital transformation. What is cloud? The benefits of cloud computing. And the nice thing about this, I'll click on what is cloud here. I'm not going to play these through my video because, let me stop this here. So basically what they do is they embed a YouTube video right within the platform. So you'll just go through this and you get your standard YouTube controls. You can adjust the quality, you can adjust the playback speed. For me, fun fact, I would try to at least myself go at 1.25x. At certain points during my training, I had this thing cranked up all the way to 1.5x. So that's how I kind of roll through the exam. But yet, this is very thorough. You go through all of these per domain. And guess what? The nice thing is there are quizzes along the way. And these are legit quizzes that I think are really good for you to do. Do not skip them because doing these quizzes is going to help you prepare for the exam big time. And then once you go through digital transformation with Google Cloud, what I did was I hopped back up here to the main Google Cloud Digital Leader certification, and then you pop down into the next one. Like I say, this is the second domain, exploring data transformation with Google Cloud. Let me pop you into here, show you what that looks like. And that's essentially going to be the same format that I just showed you. You get an introduction, and then you immediately go into the information that maps to that domain, which again is what the certification maps to. How data creates value, unlocking business value from data, data management concepts, more quizzes, unstructured data, structured data. And in me remembering when I took the exam, when you do these training classes, don't be surprised that if you do a lesson here on unstructured data and structured data, do not be surprised that you'll actually see a question asking you about this. That's what I really liked about this training. You know, a lot of times you'll take a vendor training, right? You'll do it and then you'll sit an exam and you're like, dang, I don't feel like, I feel like there were some gaps missing in that training, or you feel like in addition to the vendor training, you need something else above and beyond that. I'm telling you, literally, I just used a free training. This Google training was legit. I think if you really focus and do this training here, you could prepare and pass this thing 2 weeks maximum. If you're really in a hurry, which, you could clear this thing in a week because it's not terribly complicated. Because you got to remember, the foundational certifications, it's mostly like the what, right? The what is this, the why it's important. It's not necessarily the how you configure it. That comes in exams that aren't foundational. Okay, so what I want to do here now is jump over to the exam guide, and I'll give you a high level overview of the exam guide and the weightings of those different 6 domains that I told you about. But if you're wondering how to get to the exam guide, you're just going to go back to the main Cloud Digital Leader page, and then you'll just click on View Exam Guide, and that'll pop you right up into here. The exam guide is 8 pages. For any certification exam that I'm preparing for, I always read the exam guide from start to finish. I'm not going to read it here for you word for word, but it is important that you understand what is going to be tested of you. So section 1, again, digital transformation with Google Cloud. We talked about this already. It's going to be 17% of the exam. And all this essentially means is 17% of the questions out of that 50 to 60 are going to be from this bucket here. I'll drill into some of the bullet points here. So for example, define cloud terms. What is a cloud? Cloud technology. What is digital transformation? What's cloud native? What's open source? What's open standard? And those trainings that I showed you earlier, if you notice, each one of those videos is 1, 2, 3 minutes. Some of them might be like 4 to 5. Like all of these videos that are in the Google training map directly to this exam guide. And then when you go sit for the exam, when they ask you questions from these relative domains, you're going to be so well prepared for this. So that's worth 17% for that first one. And see the next section, exploring data transformation with Google Cloud, 16% of the exam. The value of the data. What else we got here? Google Cloud Data Management Solutions. This is where they're going to mention some of the Google Cloud services so you can start to get familiar with these. It's going to come in very handy that you know what these particular Google services are. And when you go to answer questions, be able to map the value or problem that Google service solves. in terms of the answer. Let's scroll on down here to the third section, innovating with Google Cloud Artificial Intelligence, 16%. Most of the weightings of these are pretty much standard across the board. Section 4, 17%, modernizing infrastructure and applications with Google Cloud. Section 5 is going to be, where is it? Trust and security with Google Cloud, 17%. No big shocker there. This is where you talk about security of Google Cloud. They drill into that a little bit. Security is very important. And then the final section, 17%. Yeah, all the weightings are pretty much the same, scaling with Google Cloud operations. Now, one other thing I wanted to point to your attention is after you're done with that, each of those 6 sessions has an assortment of quizzes in there. Now, when you're done with all that training, you can actually take a set of sample questions, and that'll pop you into these Google Cloud Digital Leader sample questions. There are about 31 questions. These are going to be very mapped to what you would expect on the exam, and it's just another set of questions above and beyond all those quizzes that you took in each of those separate domains. So yeah, that's the Google Cloud Digital Leader certification. I think it's highly advantageous that you take it. It requires no technical background. So if you're somebody watching this video right now and you're like, oh my God, like I have no technical background, like, is this for me? Yes, it's absolutely for you. Also, if you do have a technical background, but you're not familiar with Google, I think this is a great place to start because for me, a foundational certification is what I call a momentum builder. You want to get in there, you want to learn the vocabulary, you want to approach how Google does things, start to familiarize yourself with some of the Google services. And then once you get this certification, you can build on from there. Foundational certifications are all about getting those wheels turning, and this certification does a great job of that. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love to interact with your comments and interact with any of the questions that you have in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video.